The options for Adobe Photoshop alternatives are vast and many. Some are free while some are not. What none of them do, however, is charge you a regular subscription with an added fee if you try and leave early. Today we'll talk about Affinity Photo 2, which you can try right now for 6 months for free. After that, we're looking at what is currently an £80 one-time payment, but is it worth it? We'll find out together. So like all good software, we start with this screen that gives us some templates and sizes to choose from. And because I have yet to memorize the thumbnail size for YouTube videos, I Google it to find out it's 720p. You can just replace the values in the layout tab here and click create. On these thumbnails, you typically want a base image to start from. So we'll just use the one I chose for my last video by just going to File and then Paste. If you have snapping turned on in View, you'll be able to see lines that make it easy to place it directly in the center, but I don't at the moment, so I'll just do it manually. The process of resizing and moving is more like Photoshop and Photopea than anything else I've used. Krita and GIMP want you to use another tool for some reason. I often used a pen tool when creating a selection of myself, but I wanted to demonstrate the selection brush tool here, Affinity's version of the quick select tool in Photoshop. There's a button along the top here to invert the selection, which I must admit is faster than going to a selection menu at the top. And there are two buttons further to the left, which changes whether the brush adds or subtracts to the selection. Clicking Refine gives us what looks like a mask, and it works similarly to Refine Edge in Photoshop. It can be a little fiddly, so I would just tinker around with what looks good. You have a brush that refines the edge to an extent, but I didn't find it did much. Perhaps this wasn't the best example, as I have seen people use Refine Edge in Photoshop to select fuzzy hair and furry animals. I've noticed that when you create a new layer, whether it be a duplicate or from scratch, the preview takes some time to load what's actually on it. So if you were to hold Ctrl and press J to duplicate a selection, you won't see it straight away, so don't assume it didn't work. So like Photopea and Krita, you can fill in a selection by going into Edit and looking down to Fill with Primary Colour. Right now I have white set as the primary colour, but you can't see the black hiding at the bottom left. There. I like to have a blank layer behind my cutout and then change the opacity so you can barely see my actual background before placing in the other stuff. You can find settings that automatically correct, or you can find a list of quick filters on the layer panel right here. In retrospect, I didn't really need to do this, but you can activate a layer selection by holding Ctrl and clicking on its thumbnail, and then set it as a mask on another layer by clicking the mask icon. You might need to invert the black and white though while having the mask selected. In addition to layer modes like darken, overlay, screen, multiply, etc., you can open up this dialog box with the settings icon found to the right to modify how much it impacts the layer beneath. I don't really need to use it for this scenario, but it is quite a unique feature. If you click on the little effects icon, you'll open up Affinity's version of layer styles, which is called Layer Effects. I like to apply a small inner shadow to this cutout because I feel like it softens the edge between me and the darkened background. I know there's also an option to give yourself an outer glow, but I like to do it manually so I can add a motion blur to it, which you can do from one of the icons in the layer panel. I saved a couple textures to put in the background, and here you can see what it looks like with snapping enabled. I set this to overlay, which looked nice enough. Then I created a gradient on another layer, which I found a little fiddly compared to everything else I used. I will admit though that this is simply down to it working differently. If you actually sit down and figure out how to use it, you'll be fine. Oh look, there's a page scrolling down the screen right now telling me how to use it. Something I've also found with Affinity Photo is that you don't need to scale text within the selection box, if that makes sense. In Photoshop and Photopea, you need to make sure you're defining an area large enough to fit the font you're choosing. But as you can see here, there is no selection box, and the first thing you're doing is scaling the font. I like to use Franklin Gothic Heavy and make sure it's nowhere near the timestamp when it's uploaded to YouTube. Unlike my cutout, I like to use a green outer glow for anything else I put on the thumbnail, like the text or a ring logo. Some inner shadow adds texture as well. I was experimenting with a radial gradient to see if it made the logo look more 3D, but I don't think it worked. Worth a shot, I guess. When all is said and done, you can go ahead and export it. A nice touch is that files saved in Affinity will save with the history information intact. which means you can still undo the last few steps. You can also save it as a PSD, should you want to carry on in Photoshop or Photopea, or you can just save as a JPEG, as YouTube always has a go at me if I try and upload a PNG as my video thumbnail. And that's it, sorted. Shorter demonstration than usual, but I just wanted to show you Affinity as it only recently started doing free trials that lasted for half a year. Affinity Photo 2 and Krita both have similar layouts, so your workflow isn't going to change much. You might have to Google a couple things here and there, but there are tutorials you can find within the software itself to get you going much easier. There are quite a few features I breezed past in my demonstration, like being able to modify the curves of each layer mode, and I don't think I touched upon the non-destructive methods Affinity Photo 2 takes compared to anything else. For example, if you were to scale down an image in Photoshop, you'll have lost a lot of data from the image that could only be restored externally. Affinity Photo 2 saves that information, however, for when you size it back up. Similar to Smart Objects in Photoshop, any filter you apply to a layer will have its settings accessible through the layer itself. While Affinity Photo 2 may still lack some features of Photoshop, your workload may still be reduced by everything being preserved. If you want to check out some of the other alternatives to Photoshop, you can take a look at some of the videos that are hovering in front of my face right now. And if you liked what I got to say in this video, then a like and subscribe will be very much appreciated. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and thank you for watching. Bye now.